Hello writers and of course readers. How is your project going? Are you making progress? And are the words building up in your work in progress? It seems that so far this month I've written more than half my time in coffee shops as opposed to my time working at home, either at my desk here in the office or sitting at the kitchen table, or on one occasion sitting in the laundry room in a chair with a flask of coffee because the house was busy and I wanted a change of scenery. And I found that it's been really great to either sit in the coffee shop and use my notepad to make handwritten notes on a story that I'm writing at the moment, or to use my iPad and a wireless keyboard. So when you go to a coffee shop, whether it's tomorrow or this weekend, and you want to write and you want to be productive with the story or the non-fiction that you're working on, go prepared. Have a writing bag that's ready by the door. You can just pick it up, leave the house and go straight to the coffee shop and get a productive morning or a productive afternoon of writing done on your current work in progress. So be prepared and take things with you that you need. It could be a humble journal and a pen, or a block of paper that you can write on. I prefer unlined paper because I just find that allows my ideas to flow more easily, albeit I can regret it later because I'll tend to write in a much more higgledy-piggledy, messy sort of way on unlined paper compared to if I use a block of yellow lined notepaper. Things to do to make your environment better or to protect your environment for writing. I've written a few notes that I'm just going to share with you. First one is I always avoid a table near the main entrance. I find that the traffic going backwards and forwards from the door to the till to the counter, that can be distracting. Equally, I stay away from the walkway that goes to the bathrooms, perhaps at the back or the side of the coffee shop or the restaurant I'm working in. I tend to choose a table that's got enough space for my needs, so that means I can spread out my notepad, my laptop, my paper and pens, and have room for that essential coffee and cake, of course. But I am not going to be disturbed, and I'm not going to be asked to move table or to surrender a large table for 6 or 8 people who might turn up after I've started writing. That can happen, and of course, change table with good grace if that needs to be the case. But if you start off with a table that's just for 2 or 3 people, you can probably hang on to that table for a couple of hours or for a couple of cups of coffee while you're working and while you're writing on your own special project. To know that you can sit and write in a coffee shop for 2 hours and not be disturbed, that's a marvellous thing. What else can we do when we're in a coffee shop? I was writing in the city recently, and the coffee shop I went to one morning was the cafe for a large upmarket department store. The coffee shop was on the ground floor, and in front of me I had people walking to and fro all morning long, and it was a visual treat. And I realised I couldn't actually write with that amazing view and all the people parading in front of me as I sat at the window bench. So I moved my table, I turned it slightly so that the footpath and the pavement and the busy street was to one side, so I still had that sense of bustle and things happening nearby. I didn't need the distraction, I was there to write. So think about how you want to use or be close to a window or away from it so that your focus is on your writing process and nothing else. A really simple thing you can do to support yourself is take along some earphones, and you can pop those in whether you're using them to listen to music or you've got an ambient noise soundtrack on your phone, or just to show as an illustration that you're busy, you're focused, and you don't want to be disturbed. I've mentioned the benefits of sitting near a power socket so that you can charge up or boost your laptop, but of course you could also put a little battery pack in your bag and take that with you, so that you have that extra confidence of always having sufficient power to be working on a digital screen. If you're not working on a digital screen, it might be that you're going to a coffee shop to draft ideas, to think about something that you know you want to write about and you want to put into words, but you're not sure just yet. So take some form of notebook or notepad and be able to make notes while you're in the coffee shop and while you're enjoying a decent drink. By the way, if writing in a coffee shop is a completely new idea to you, trial it. Think of half a dozen coffee shops that you like and you're fond of. Maybe you've been there socially, you've been there with friends, and you've had a nice experience of food and drink. Consider going back there with your journal and pen, making notes about the venue, thinking about the music, just enjoying it, but also seeing it now not just as a social space that you've enjoyed previously, but have it as a creative environment, a second office, an additional place where you can go to unload ideas from your mind, put them onto screen or put them into your notebook or your notepad, and consider each venue as a potential place for working. In my city of Bradford in West Yorkshire, there are plenty of coffee shops that I can choose from, but there are 3 that I favour because the staff are friendly, they're also welcoming of people working in certain spaces. The other thing I'd suggest you consider when you're working in a coffee shop is think about the time of day. It might be that you work regular hours between 9 and 5 or 8 and 6 or whatever, and you catch the early morning tables or the people leaving to go home time slot of maybe 6 till 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and you find that to be a productive time. And put on a low-level soundtrack of your own and just get on with the work. You're there to create, you're there to produce words. But the idea of this video is just to give you a little shove forward so that you can find the benefits of writing in a coffee shop for yourself and see that as an aid and as a boost to your own productivity. Your writing is everything to you, just as mine is to me. Not only is it a way of relaxing, it's also a way of engaging with the passion you have for the words and hopefully creating a series of stories or a book or some blog material. Getting out of the house is a change of scene. If you are writing during your commute, sitting in a coffee shop or sitting in the cafe of a station, that can be a good thing to do to unload the ideas that have been brewing in your head during your working day and to get those down on screen or to capture them in your notebook before you get home so that you can focus on being relaxed at home. However you want to use the coffee shop as a generic writing space, make it your own, make it productive, and set out to enjoy that process on 2 or 3 occasions next week, and please let me know how you get on. I hope that's been helpful. I'm just sharing from my own experience of writing in coffee shops for much of this month and realizing that I actually really enjoy and appreciate the ability to change my working environment, to enjoy decent coffee outside of the house, and to feel that at the end of a writing session or a block of time allocated to my writing project, I can head home knowing that I've accomplished something that means a lot. Have a great week and happy writing wherever you are.